Happy Groundhog Day. Happy Groundhog Day. Yes, it is Groundhog Day, otherwise known as Candlemas, but in the United States and Canada, it is a tariff-laden Groundhog Day in both countries. It's very expensive to import or export groundhogs. Anyway, but enough of political commentary. Yes, it is Groundhog Day, and if you've never seen the movie Groundhog Day, you're missing a spiritual experience. Not only is it a hysterical, wonderful, insightful, well-written movie written by mystics, Buddhists. It's wonderful. Bill Murray is the star of it. But it's a case of a guy. He's like a television reporter, and they're going to Punxsutawney or whatever the correct pronunciation of the town is on Groundhog Day to cover this seemingly innocuous story. But and Bill Murray plays a guy. He's just an asshole. Okay, just an asshole, and his co-workers hate him, and he thinks he's above everybody, and he ridicules. He's just an unlikable guy. Okay, and he wakes up in the hotel, in a kind of little provincial hotel there in town on Groundhog Day to interview the celebrants and things like that. And he wakes up with the clock radio playing "I Got You, Babe." Okay. So the clock radio turns to like 7 a.m. or something like that, and then "I Got You, Babe." It's a clock radio. Okay. And so he goes out and does his goes about his day, and it's an interesting thing. You meet all the other characters, and just a series of events and business that he goes through. And then the next morning, the clock turns 7 a.m. "I Got You, Babe" comes on again. And he gets up, goes down the hotel breakfast room. Same person breaks a plate. The same day is repeated over and over again. And it becomes, after a while, it becomes old. This happens three or four times, and he doesn't quite know what to make of it. And then he does absolutely all sorts of ludicrous things during the day. And after a while, he sort of can anticipate what's going to happen and find out that he can exploit the fact that he knows what's going to happen. And then, but eventually he gets tired of it. I mean, he commits suicide jumps off a building and drives his car. He still wakes up, "I got you, babe. I got you, babe." And after a while, he knows he's stuck in this cycle. And he starts to take piano lessons. Okay. And it seems like the memory of what he learned the day before travels with him. So he goes in and takes piano lessons for the first time, and every time he gets a little better. And because he's in almost an eternal loop, eventually he goes into the piano teacher and says, "I'd like to learn to play the piano." And she gives him the first lesson, and he goes, you know. And then he saved the mayor's life because he knows he's going to choke on some food at a restaurant, and he refines himself. And there's a love story going on here that doesn't, believe me, doesn't start as a love story. But he keeps refining himself until he actually hits a spot where he's redeemed, if you will, to use an old kind of Christian point of view. It's a wonderful, wonderful movie. I wrote a song. I posted it this morning, a little YouTube video that I made. It's called I Once Was the Hero of Megiddo, or Megiddo. So Constance is going out for a bike ride this morning. You want to say Happy Sunday School?
Do I have a choice now?
She has no choice.
Happy Sunday School.
Okay. You're going out on your bicycle. Is it raining?
Well, I got a birthday coupon from Ace Hardware, and it's near so I don't know if it's raining. I'm putting my raincoat on. It's very cold. It's very windy.
It's windy.
I like riding in the wind. Lon does not understand these things.
Well, you've got a coupon for Ace Hardware. Are you going to get some lug nuts?
I'll probably maybe I'll get some nightlight bulbs or something exciting. Maybe batteries, something.
Okay. Well, be careful.
I'll try.
And I'll stay here with our friends.
And be warm.
And be as warm as I can. Did you turn off the furnace?
I'm going to now, though, because
Okay.
It's gotten quite warm.
All right. Bye.
Bye. And happy Sunday School. Have a good day.
Good. Anyway,
Freeze the elements.
as I was saying, today is Valentine's Day. But anyway, I got a song for that too. But it's called I Once Was a Hero of Megiddo, or Megiddo. I once was a baker of marzipan cakes. I once was the hero of Megiddo. And I pronounce it Megiddo. A painter of dragons on porcelain plates. I once was the harlot of Jericho. A waif at the wharf side. A dandy in lace. A proud man's sad daughter who forgot her place. Each lifetime's a turn on the merry-go-round. The horses go up and go down. As we spin through eternity's spiraling night, turning, returning, until we get it right. I once was a bully who pushed the wrong boy. I once was the wrong boy to bully. I once hurled a Greek from the ramparts of Troy. I once speared a mastodon, woolly. I once ate a mushroom and died on the spot. I pleasured 9 Zulus and liked it a lot. Each lifetime's a turn on the merry-go-round. The horses go up and go down as we spin through eternity's spiraling night, turning, returning, until we get it right. I once was a rowdy young man in Peru. I once was a proper young lady. A sodomite, Hittite, Jane, and a Jew, and countless times died as a baby. I once was a Byzantine, skewered by the Turks. And once I was triplets. Not sure how that works. Each lifetime's a turn on the merry-go-round. The horses go up and go down. As we spin through eternity's spiraling night, turning, returning, until we get it right. Okay, that was my little poem. It's sort of in honor of the Groundhog Day concept. I have, and it's still available if you want to purchase it. I guess it's still a reincarnation workshop where we utilize, after we talk about what reincarnation is and isn't, or perhaps is, or perhaps isn't. But early on in our Enochian workings at Haru Raha Lodge, we're talking 30 years ago, we discovered that Archangel of Archangels, I guess, sort of what you could call it, the master ruler of the elemental tablet of Tablet of Union, EHNB, was very cooperative in giving us a vision of our previous incarnations. And so that's my reincarnation workshop. We actually do an experiment with that. And it's something I might be doing out on the desert in Joshua Tree, but we'll have to see. But here's just a part of that script. Have you ever had dreams or what seem to be memories of living a different life? Think back, if you can, to your early childhood thoughts and dreams. This might be particularly important. If you do have such memories, jot down a few words that will remind you of what those are. There are certainly things that have always naturally attracted you. Me too. Some things have naturally repulsed me. Some things have, for no apparent real reason, have frightened me, okay? Are there certain talents or abilities that you seem to have been born with or come naturally to you? Now imagine if I was asking Bill Murray in the movie Groundhog Day any of these questions on any of those days he repeatedly woke up. When you watch movies or read books, are there any historic eras or ancient civilization that seem familiar to you? And finally, do you ever find yourself feeling unexpectedly embarrassed or ashamed for no apparent reason? I know this is kind of a strange question, but I want you to think about this. If you've ever kept a diary, you know that it is a painfully personal thing. It exposes your soul. And when you're an adult, there is nothing more painful, embarrassing than reading your teenage diary and seeing your adolescent exposed soul. It makes you want to burn that diary before anyone else can read it. Now that's what a genuine memory of a previous incarnation makes you feel like. I happen to believe in the concept of reincarnation, but perhaps not in the way that is commonly viewed. In 1950, when I was 2 years old, I was not allowed to walk because of a bone disease in my hip. I talk about it all the time. Yeah. I was confined to my crib and was allowed to quietly rest alone most of the day and night, drifting in and out of dreams and waking consciousness. Actually, I loved it. I entertained myself by pondering the nature of my own existence. In my book, My Life with the Spirits, I write about these infant memories and my scenes of what could be interpreted as previous incarnations in my almost pre-linguistic infant memories. Well, they were memories of trench warfare in World War I. Memories of myself living in Los Angeles in the late 1920s or early 30s. As a baby, I had not yet seen a movie, a television show, or any photographs that would trigger or influence such memories. I also mentioned in the book that during a dramatic psychedelic vision I experienced in the California desert, 1967. This was at Joshua Tree. I'm going back after all these years. 1967. It'll be like a Groundhog Day thing, won't it? Okay. Both of us simultaneously came to the very clear realization that we were the incarnations of our own great uncles, who had lived in Los Angeles area and who died in the late 1930s, both of them, several years before we were born. The idea that I might indeed be my own great uncle raises the possibility that instead of being memories of previous incarnations, okay, here's something to think about. These impressions might have something to do with genetic memory or ancestral memory. As a matter of fact, on quantum levels, we're truly unsure exactly how much information is carried on DNA. Or for that matter, what the fuck time it really is. But I digress. Of course, there's no way for me to prove any of my possible previous incarnations, and frankly, even if I think I could prove I was my own great uncle or Cleopatra, I'd still be stuck with the concept that I am now and have ever been and will ever be the incarnation of no one but myself. And so it is with each of us. Time as we know it is very fragile. Relative to human consciousness, time exists only in a very narrow band of the consciousness spectrum. Time is so delicate, we squeeze and stretch it every time we fall asleep. Have you ever taken what you thought was a short nap, only to discover you've been sleeping for many hours, or vice versa? If the rules of time can get themselves so screwed up during our daily sleep cycle, just imagine how much differently the laws of time when you are dead. Time does not exist. In one respect, all of us, past, present, and future, are alive at the same moment. And that moment is now. Perhaps each of us are living only one life, one grand adventure, like the character Bill Murray. And what we temporarily think of as multiple incarnations are only repeated attempts to perfect our one master incarnation. The horses go up and go down as we spin through eternity's spiraling night, turning, returning, until we get it right. And that's my Groundhog Day message. and my Sunday school sermon. Until tomorrow, hey, I got to get ready for Monday night class tomorrow here in Sacramento. I've gotten several notes. It's not Zoom. It's class, and class in a way is a private thing, and I don't want anyone to feel self-conscious when they come to class that it's going to be broadcast all over the place. So I do what I can, publicly and hold events like the upcoming Joshua 3-day intensive Enochian Vision Magic retreat coming up March 5th, 6th, and 7th. Anyway, until tomorrow, continue to be good to yourself, be good to each other. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law, love under will.